Hi, my name is Ron Roberts Jr., and I'm a career and college planning partner. And I want to welcome you to Inside Investigation, Career and Company, the what and why of informational interviewing. This short presentation is part of a campaign that I'm doing to promote informational interviewing. I think it's a great practice, but unfortunately, I don't think enough students or others actually do informational interviews. But yet, you can get so much insight into a company, into career paths by simply talking to people who are doing what you want to do and working where you want to work. And so in this short presentation, I'm going to talk about what informational interviewing is, some of the benefits, how to get started, and a few tips on how to conduct an informational interview. This presentation is not meant to be very detailed. It's just simply meant to get you started. I will share a slide that will provide you some other information that will get more detailed about informational interviewing. So let's go ahead and get started. So what's an informational interview? It's simply talking to people who are doing what you want to do, and they're talking to people who are working where you want to work. And so if you want to be a comic book artist, or if you want to be a video game designer, or you want to be an attorney or a civil engineer, the best people to talk to are those people who are actually doing what you want to do. And so talk to video game designers, talk to attorneys and civil engineers. Informational interviewing is also talking to people who are working where you want to work. And so if you want to work at a Disney, or you want to work at a Wells Fargo, or you want to work at a law firm, talk to people who are working at those organizations, those employers, to get deep insight into what it's actually like to work at those particular places. And so an informational interview is typically anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes or more, and you can conduct informational interviews in person, over the phone, or through virtual communication platforms like Zoom. So some of the benefits of informational interviews are number one, you will get insight into career fields. And so instead of just being comfortable with just doing research online about a career path or about a company, actually talk to people who are doing what you want to do or working where you want to work. So you'll get deeper insight into career fields and companies. Next, you also will be able to expand your network. You'll expand your network of potential industry contacts. And so as you're doing multiple informational interviews, you're going to be connecting with people who can continue to be part of your network as you move forward. And then finally, another benefit is the potential internships or jobs. And so hear me clearly, you're not doing informational interviews to ask that person for an internship or a job. You're simply gathering information. But hopefully in the process, if you present yourself well enough, you never know, you may position yourself for an opportunity that may come up. So that person that you're talking to may become aware of an internship or a job opportunity after their conversation with you. And if you made enough of a good impression, then that person may keep you in mind, and they may reach back out to you or may refer you for a potential internship or a job. So an information interview is not a guarantee, or it's not intended for you to get a job or internship from the person you're talking to. But once again, if you make a good impression, you can potentially position yourself for that kind of opportunity. So those are some of the benefits of doing informational interviews. So how do you get started? You start with the people that you know to connect you with people that you don't know. So whether you know family members or friends or professors or career counselors, these are the people that can help you get connected to people that you don't know. And so if you want to become an astronaut or a professional athlete or a state senator, you start with the people that you know who may know those folks, or they may know people who know those folks. And so start with the people that you know to connect with people that you don't know. And so once you've identified someone or just others that you want to talk to, then you want to reach out with an email. An email is simply going to introduce who you are and why you want to talk to them. You want to learn more about their career path or their company, and you want to get some advice. And it's as simple as that. So send an email out, set up a time to or request a meeting for them, and schedule a time that's going to work well for them as well as for you. And once that appointment's scheduled, then I advise you to reach out maybe a day or two prior to that appointment, just to be sure the person has remembered, because that person may or may not put you on the calendar. People often get busy and don't always do that. So you want to remind them a day or two ahead of time. So also prepare questions. And you want to make sure that you have questions prepared. More questions you probably need to ask, but because you want to really message that you're serious about this conversation, you value the person's time, and that you really do want to learn about their career path and company. Also advise you to have a pen and paper handy, and so you can take good notes when that person is sharing this valuable information for you. It's going to remind you what they shared, so you can always go back to it, but it also may prompt some additional questions. And then whether the informational interview is being done in person or on the phone, or actually whether it's done in person or through a virtual platform like Zoom, you want to dress appropriately for it. All right, so in terms of questions, the questions can be asked about a number of different topics. So it can be about the person's day-to-day duties and responsibilities. It could be how satisfied that person is working in that profession, the type of training that that person has had to undergo to get to where they are in their career, or training that that person's company provides. You can ask questions about the company's culture and values. Some of the challenges this person's had to face moving along their career path and getting to where they are. And then just simply advice that they have for you as a college or high school student if you want to get into their shoes. So before the informational interview ends, a couple of things I'm going to encourage you to do. Number one, say thank you. Thank you to the person for their time and for the information shared. But also ask that person if there happens to be anybody in their network that they who may be willing to talk with you about their career path or about their company. And so this is a great way of getting additional information on the career path and company, but also a great way to expand your professional network. And most of the time, people will be amenable to sharing. And if they're not, that's okay. But you always want to make the ask. All right, so that is essentially it, what I want to share about information interviewing. For now, I will do another presentation that will get to more detailed about how to ask for an information interview and questions that you can ask during the information interview. In the meantime, if you want to dig deeper into this topic, there's some great resources that I've shared on the screen. Number one, a complete guide to informational interviews by Indeed, and this is a very comprehensive guide on what informational interviews are, their benefits, how to get started, how to conduct one, and also questions you can ask. Next, how to ask for an informational interview and get a yes. And this is from the Muse. And then 5 questions to ask during the informational interview through Harvard Business Review. And then finally, your College Career Center. And your College Career Center can help you with conducting an information interview. They can also help you with things like resume writing, preparing for interviews, networking, job search and internship search strategies, preparing for career fairs. So if you haven't visited your College Career Center, I definitely encourage you to take advantage of the resources that they provide you. They can help you in a lot of different ways. All right, so that is it. I hope that you got a lot of got some benefit from this short presentation on informational interviewing, and that it will encourage you to get started. And so I will have another video out that'll get to more detail a little later on. But in the meantime, all the best on your informational interviews.